Okay, I want to talk about the vertical line test, and this is another way that we can tell if we have a function or not. If you see a graph of something, and we can determine right away just from the graph whether it's a function. Remember, for a function, it has, for every one output, or excuse me, for every one input, there must be one output exactly. Okay, now this, for instance, on this one, for every one input, our input is 1, our output is 2. There's only one output there. Our input of 2 has an output of 4. Our input of 3 has an output of 6. So for every one input, there's exactly one output. So we know that this one's a function. Well, there's another way that we can tell if it's a function. It's called the vertical line test. And the way that we look at this one is if we can just draw a vertical line straight down. So let's do that here. And we get to see how many times it intersects our graph. In this case, it intersected once. It intersected it right there. If I drew another line over here, it intersects once. Over here, it intersects once as well. So for every one input, no matter where we draw that line, there's one output. So if it intersects once and only once, we're good to go. Okay, it is a function. Now let's look at an example that's not a function right now. On this one right here, for our one input, our output is 1.5. So that one's okay. We only have one output. So far, so good. For 2, the cost of 2 is somewhere around 3, a little over 3, 3 1/4 maybe. So far, so good. That one input only has one output. Let's take a look at 3, however. For number 3, our input of 3 has an output of 4 and 5. It has 2 different outputs. So we know right away that this one's not a function. However, we can also look at it with graphing. Okay, if I were to draw a vertical line right here, it intersects one time. If I were to draw a vertical line over here, it intersects one time. However, if I draw a vertical line right straight down there at 3, it intersects 2 times. Because it intersects more than once, we draw that vertical line, it intersected more than once, this is not a function. Okay, remember the vertical line, if it intersects one time, it is a function. If it intersects more than once, like it did in this case, it's not a function.